Hey, this is David. Once again, I'm starting this process over, and I want you to understand everything that I'm trying to present to you. It'll take up a little time, but not too much. And the time is going to be such a reward for you that you're not going to concern yourself with the time. What you see on the screen is quite a bit of information that you may not have recognized before, but we are meant to be. What are we meant to be? VIPs. We're going to show you about the VIPs, and you as a VIP, you're going to get a basic understanding of what we're talking about when we say people, process, product, and pay. That's people, you one of the persons. The process, we're going to explain you the process. The products, we're going to talk about products, and the pay. And the pay is significant, very significant. All we have to do is exercise what's the opportunity that we have. And I'm going to be using a term like stop sitting on your hands. Any individual that has an opportunity to do something and they sit back on their hands, they can't eat as much because while you're sitting on your hands, you can't get your hands from under your body to put food in your mouth. So I'm going to be expressing this throughout the process to stop sitting on your hands. Now, before I leave this slide, I want you to look at the money that's floating around in the air. There's a contract that God Himself makes with us. It's a simple, little simple contract, and He's asking us to do something. If we do that one thing that He's asking us to do, He honors His contract. He never do something that He didn't tells us that He's gonna do. He's gonna do it. Now let me give you this. He said, "Ask and it shall be given; seek and you shall find; knock and it shall be open unto you. For everyone who asks for it receives it, and he or she who seeks it will find it, and him or her that knock for it, it shall be open." So my question then is, so you and all of our ones who heard me say that, how big is your it? So if your it is in the contract, He's going to open up the windows. If you can imagine how many windows there are, He said He'd open up the windows with an S of heaven and pour you out a blessing so great you can't receive it all. So if He's poured out, say, 5 or 6 windows as opposed to just one, you can use your own imagination. Now, money funds my lifestyle. How about you? It takes money to fund my lifestyle. Money Funds My Lifestyle is a video also. It's the CEO of the company explaining to you and I what this opportunity is really all about. And it is an opportunity for you to gain wealth. We're going to explain it before we finish the presentation. There's about $84.4 trillion that's being transferred as we speak. And it started in 2023 and it will go through 2025. And we're going to ask you that question later on. Since we know that $84.4 trillion, and imagine that trillion dollars, are being transferred to you and I, how much of that would you like to have is the question. And does money fund your lifestyle? Well, it does mine. And I'm going to move on, keep not taking up too much of your valuable time. Now, look, I told you that we have an opportunity. You see it at the top, wealthtransferalliance.com. It is a website. It is a company's website, and you go to wealthtransferalliance.com, and it's going to explain to you. You don't see any spaces between the word, but it is all capitalized wealthtransferalliance.com. All right, people, process, product, and pay. Those are the 4 major things that we do. We work with people, as you're going to see. We have a process that we're working with the people, and that process is called peak and pass. Peak and pass. That's the process. You understand it? It's very simple. Peak the interest of whosoever it is, and if that person's interest is what you have, explain your interest is, which is you're just explaining your interest to that person. That process then starts with that person, and the product that the company has is going to be used by you and that person for other people. That's the process, and we get a pay. We get paid very well. And at this point in time in our country, and this is for United States citizens only, we don't go outside the United States with our product. We're an American-based company providing an opportunity for Americans. And at the present time in our country, under our current system, we are losing people out of the government, are being purged and losing their job, their withdrawal. And here we are now with an opportunity for all of those persons to take hold of something and stop sitting on their hand. Don't get disgruntled about what has happened, because when God takes something from you, He always replaces it with something 10 times better. We call it tenfold. So if you lose something, a job or whatever, don't concern yourself. Let's go to God. He already know you lost it. And you ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open. So what we're saying is you got to trust in your spirit within you. There are three spirits in you at all times. And you have to understand it. I'm going to put them here now before I move from people. We're on people right now. The people, all people, have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit within them. I believe that 1 plus 1 equal 1. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is just one God, and He lives inside of you, and everyone that you know, including your neighbor. That's why He asked us to love ourselves as we love our neighbor. So we have to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, and we don't do anything destructive to ourselves unless our mind goes someplace it should not be. We don't do anything to ourselves that's destructive to us. So we should not do anything destructive to our neighbor, because why? We love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Why? Because God lives just as much of God lives in your neighbor as you do yourself. I'm going to stop preaching and move on. The pay is what we're going to concentrate on. We'll go for here. Once again, I'm showing you that we are meant to be. And all we're talking about here is just the company letting us show us through our process of what we do, through the process of what we do with people. We are VIPs. Everyone is a VIP. And we have to understand that in order to understand the products that we're letting the person process and the pay that they receive after processing the pay. Now, here's an example. This is an example of an estate planning subscription. This is only an example, and money is my income tax video is another video explaining what we're talking about. Now, this is considered to be a six-figure income, and the video is going to explain that information. You see what we're talking about. It's all we're talking about is showing you step by step by step and showing you in details what you can do by taking advantage of the opportunity that's being presented. And this opportunity here is estate planning. Now, let me suggest this to you that you may not know. Everyone have an estate plan. It's either you are starting one for yourself or the government starts it for you. But everyone has an estate. Whatever you have that you had since God formed you in your mother's womb, brought you into the world, once you came out of your mother's womb, your estate started developing. And you have an estate, whether you understand it or not. So if you haven't physically done anything to your estate yourself, then the government is doing it for you. And when you pass, if you have, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pair of shoes, that's part of your estate. Whatever you have is your estate. And if you have not set yourself up the estate plan, then the government will do it for you. And he'll hold on to, he meaning the government, will hold on to whatever you have as long until he's satisfied that he has gotten enough out of it or that you should have it. Moving on. My income tax video, please go there. And we're talking about here just an example of you and 7 of your friends, what you could have between you and just 7 of your friends, but the video is going to explain it to you, but your annual income could be 6 figures. That's what we're talking about, the pay. So we have people, we have the process, we have the product, we have the pay. And what this is about the pay. And we're going to move on, show you one other thing now. The estate planning. Estate planning is the technology that was developed, took over 30 years to develop by a Harvard law student. Under one of the students graduated with the former President Barack Obama in the class, and that student, along with other persons that we're going to get into in a few minutes, but that person developed the software that the wealth transfer allowance technology persons are using to show you how to take advantage of the 30+ year opportunity that was developed at Harvard University Law School. Okay, moving on. Now, excuse me, give me your attention what you see the bold letter there. But look at the top, it says recruiting current and former federal employees today. And you can go to, we're going to show this over and over again also, WTA enrollment form.com, and there's dashes are not there. That is my mistake. it should be WTA-enrollment-form.com. And I use it over and over again in the presentation, so you're going to see it again. The only thing I'm asking you to do here, and you see my picture, and I'm going to introduce myself in details later on, but it says, give me your attention. You give me your attention, and what we're talking about, you getting the attention of, is the revenue from the estate of gift tax. Okay, and in 2022, the amount of $33 billion went to the United States government. This is from your state. In 2023, $34 billion went to the probate court. We're talking about the probate. And then they projected in 2034, $66 billion. Between 29 and 2034, $66 trillion, or billion dollars, I'm sorry, will go to the probate court. And the United States estate tax is transferred from property at a time of an individual's death. So when I expire, or you expire, whatever I have, it's going to go to my estate. If I have set up the revocable living trust for my people to get it, then it won't go to the probate court. If I have a will or don't have a will, it will go to the probate court. And the court will have it as long as the court wants to have it, and the value of my estate continue to escalate or go up. And the higher my estate get, the more the probate court are going to take out of my estate. I don't know why I brought up the term bankruptcy, because it doesn't really matter. But anyway, in the United States, they estimated the estate tax, that is, on the transfer of property at the time of an individual's death, of what we're talking about. And this is also something that we can understand very, very easy. Okay, having gotten an understanding, do you now understand that the best family wealth transfer allowance technology that we have, we do? I mean, Wealth Transfer Alliance have the best technology, because you don't need an attorney here. If you do, you just you don't need an attorney to do the software, because it's all, you can do it on your phone if you're that equipped with a phone, computer, laptop, things of that nature. And it's all you doing, putting your information together. We're going to get into that as we continue through this process. But what we're talking about here is WTA's Revocable Living Trust. Since the projected $66 billion are in your control. See, if you don't take control of yourself, the $66 billion will go to the probate court, and your state could be part of that process. Because we won't really ever know when God is going to say, well, the time I've given you is up, and you have to expire. I mean, you transition, you leave from here to go to the next whatever God has in store. But I do know we're going to all leave. And when we leave, we want to leave what we have with our people, as opposed to going to the probate court. You know, James Brown had $100 million, went to the probate court. Then Miss Evans, she had $5 billion and went to the probate court. And then the Supreme Court judge, he had $80 million. It went to the probate court. And all of these, and then $2.3 billion. I'm talking about people that, you know, when they expire, if they don't have a revocable living trust, then it will go to the probate court, because many of them have a will, and a will go to probate court. That's why we're calling the federal government's death revenue. It's a death revenue because when we die, whatever we have, money in the bank or whatever, jewelry on our back or whatever we have, cars, boats, homes, whatever we have, rental properties, whatever we have, it will go into the probate court, and the revenue from that process is what we're saying the federal government's death revenue, because you are now, we're transition. And when we transition, the court gets the benefit or the proceeds from the whatever we have. That's what we're talking about. I'm gonna go to the next. Now look, here is some things that we do with in Wealth Transfer Alliance, and what we do. Now look, payroll tax initiative, just called PTI. Well, this is to show a company how to get less money paid to the government in tax and more for the employees of the company. And that's a benefit for the employee of the company, and it's a benefit for the employer of the company. But both the employer and the employee are going to benefit. And what you see on the screen is got the government benefits, we got the employer's benefit, the employee's benefit, the HR benefits. These are the kinds of products that Wealth Transfer Alliance have. And what we do with these products is we just send the interest of the person to the person who have the product. You see the government benefits, that's the government. And the government has things available for them. Just read what you see here, see the PITI, see what they just kind of spread it out because putting this on here was kind of hard to see. But take your time, stop the video, and read what you see up under. Read the caption up under the government benefit. Read what you see up under employee benefit, the employee, and the HR. All of these are different kinds of products that Wealth Transfer Alliance have. We don't sell them. We simply pique the interest of the person who has an interest in employees benefit. We pique the interest of the individual who are an employee that wants to enhance their benefits. We pique the interest of a person who in the HR departments and most often in whatever the employer has. All of this is just to pique the interest. So we pick and pass. That's all you're going to hear me talking about is pick and pass. And what the reason for that is for you not to get, thinking that it's something for you to sell. But look, watch this. This is the six-figure income that I'm talking about that you can have simply by applying the opportunity of the income that's produced. Now, this is a self-employed benefit. Self-employed benefits. I'm in the self-employed people that you know. Well, a self-employed benefit, let me show you how the levels are. The business builder person. I'm a business building advocate. I am a business building advocate, and my income comes from the opportunities that's made available for me to get persons to become business advocate. And every time I get a person, you see there are 1,000 entrepreneurs up there. Well, that's you see the 15. Okay, you see the one. You see, this is just an opportunity for you to blast it. Go for it. But look, you see that if you become a partner, see the star at the top. If you become a partner with the company, you see what your earnings would be if you have a self-employed individual. Now, self-employed individual may have health insurance, and what we have with the self-employed individual group rate health insurance, and if that person or family enroll under group rate health insurance and they pay their monthly premium, you get a percentage of the monthly premium. So look at the top of what a partner would get, 76.92%, which is $19.23 times the number of people. Look, see how at the bottom we got the 500. See, you're making a nice sizable income, and you're getting a percentage of the persons, the wealth advocate. You're getting a percentage of the senior advocate. You're getting a percentage of the district advocate. You're getting a percentage of the regional advocate. You're getting a percentage of the national advocate. And now you're the partner, but you're getting a percentage of each one of their. That's why your income or your pay is such nice after you have accepted the opportunity and taken advantage of the opportunity. Now, this is just for the self-employed individual. And you are now looking for the self-employed individual. And all you want the self-employed individual to do is complete one little simple form, putting the name, the phone number, the email address, and the age on the form. And then you turn the form over to Wealth Transfer Alliance, and Wealth Transfer Alliance turn it over to the partners that they have, or the products, persons that with the products. And those persons with the products, and this self-employed concept is one of the products, they then pay you a monthly amount for the money they collected off of the group health insurance, if you don't follow what I'm saying. So complete a little short form to get started, and you get paid month after month after month, and that month after month pay can give you as much as a six-figure income by you exercising the opportunity that's been available for you to do that. And that's what we're really talking about. This is a self-employed benefit nationwide. And for the more detailed information, just call the number at the top, 301-328-4186, and someone at that number will give you an explanation, or it will get you the information that you're seeking in order for you to know that. Now, let me ask you this. Can you see ICU? Well, this is just an example. So you may think that you can possibly afford an estate plan. You cannot not afford an estate plan. And I tell you that because you get 100% tax deduction this year if you started it this year. If you went in the next year, you wait till next year. I wouldn't do that because you're gonna get a tax write-off on it. And I'm telling you, you can get a tax write-off. But you gotta watch the video at Can You See I See You 3? Can You See I See You 3? It's a video. That's all it is. And most information that you see, the URLs, they're simply pointing you to a video, and the video explains to you what you really can take advantage of by just simply becoming a wealth uh, WTA advocate with Wealth Transfer Alliance. You want to become an advocate. There are two different positions. Affiliate, which I can't give you any details on because I've never been an affiliate. I just know an affiliate can't make the income that uh, an advocate can make, because we get an advocate get paid 10 different ways, whereas an affiliate I think they only 3. But I do know, I did hear from the videos that an advocate get paid 3 ways, but still are not at the level of income that an advocate can make, because an advocate really can go higher than the partner. And you can get that explanation from watching the video at Money Funds My Lifestyle. Okay, watch this. This is some of the partners that I have, some of the persons, the team members that I work with, and the CEO of the company. He's up there, and we have, and this is a presentation that's being made by to all of the persons, the partners, and you can see for this. I'm not going to start this reading, but you see, I'm one of the partners, one of the team members, and the person. When you see the green solution, that's the individual that told me about it, and I had the same kind of interest that he had, and he simply shared his peak and pass process with me. That I enrolled, and most of the persons that you see here are here because someone had done the peak and pass process. And then now we have a HR company making a presentation to all those persons to show those persons how to increase the 6-figure incomes that many of them are making. We're talking about. So all we're doing is peaking and passing. And all the persons that you see here, including myself, all we do is just peak and pass. We're peak and passing the interest. We're not selling, we're not buying, we are simply sharing with another person the product process that the company had, and the interest that that person is going to get out of the product. So once you get an understanding of the different kinds of product and the individuals that attend, this is like a Zoom process here, and it can be 100, well, however many people, and there can be 40, 50 in there this minute, and the next minute you see 5 or 6 gaining, because every month we have webinars pretty often, and all that information is going to be given to you as we go through this process. I'm spending too much time, and I got a couple more things I got to show you before I get to the end. But here, this is the company that I left. Is underline this in red. It's, the company has a $6.5 billion in 2023. We're in 2025, and the company now in partnership with Wealth Transfer Alliance and all of their advocates, and I'm one of the advocates, but the partnership with one of the advocates, with all the advocates, and all the advocates benefit from the process. You see that 92% of all the clients are satisfied. It's a 99% first payroll without a defect, 99% assured on substantial payroll. All of this is done through the partners that Wealth Transfer Alliance has. And what they've done is partnership with other companies. I'm talking about huge companies. And those partnerships produces an income for you and I, because all we're doing is peaking and passing the interest of the company. The products that the company has is for the interest of everybody in the world, everybody in America. Everybody in America want those products. So by us having the products, and we explain the products to a person who has the same interest, that person then is going to receive a pay from the company every month. And if you got month after month after month. Now here, this is the CEO of the company that started this process. All of this is what I'm taking this information from the CEO, Smart Money, on the Wall Street Journal. Is what this is about. Wealth Transfer Alliance Technology. Yeah, we are dispersing $84.4 trillion of the wealth that are being transferred between 2023 and 2045 are available to any willing U.S. citizens nationwide. If you're interested in having more money, if money funds your lifestyle, then you want to attend my live webinar. And all you're going to get on the attend my live webinar is a video explaining to you why you want to do this. And the video at my attend my live webinar, that's the person that started the whole thing working 30 plus years ago at Harvard University Law School. He was a student and with a classmate of Barack Obama. And I'm only showing you this to show you the power in what you're being presented. It's just an opportunity for you to take advantage of the opportunity simply by enrolling. You're going to enroll at WTAenrollmentform.com. WTAenrollmentform.com. You're going to see it in just a few minutes. I've shown it to you earlier, and I'm going to show it to you again and again. And you can see it again and again simply by replaying the video. This is a video. What I'm doing, the presentation I'm making, it's going to be a video. Now look, what portion of the $84 trillion do you want? Whatever your answer, I don't know what it's going to be, but whatever it is, so you enroll to get your share. Just enroll to get your share. Down at the bottom, you see where you enroll. I told you to see it again. WTAenrollmentform.com. Remember I told you left the dash out, but the dashes are in here. WTAenrollmentform.com. And look, this is witnesses. These are major witnesses telling you about the $84.4 trillion. They're telling you things that you need to know. And I'm not going to indulge on your intelligence by trying to read everything here. I'm just showing you that these are four sources: the Yahoo Finance, the Street, Forbes Magazine, the New York Times. All of these are four witnesses trying to show you what you need to do in order to get started in this process. All right. Now remember, I told you that I was an accountant. I am, and I've been I'm an accountant. And here's something that take the fear out of the cost, because it does cost you $495 for you to start your business. Okay, one time, $495, and then there's a $19.95 for the software, the technology that you're going to need in order to get everything done. But here is how you is going to take advantage of it. You take the money out of your right pocket or left pocket and put it in the other pocket. The money is still in your pocket. It never leaves your pocket. Well, it does. It temporarily leave. What I mean by that is that you take it out of the right pocket, you put it into your business. Your business costs $495. On your Schedule C, you see at the top in the left top, that's a Schedule C under the 1040, and it's a profit or loss. And you see, you say I had zero. So if you started your business in 2025 and you didn't take advantage of it in 2024, it's not too late, because your business expenses that you incurred in 2024 with the anticipation of research and development and travel and all the other business expenses that you incurred with the anticipation of starting your wealth transfer allowance business building concept in 2025 for 2024, then the expenses that you incurred in 2024, they're on your witness statement. And what's your witness statement? I'm so glad you asked. Is your bank statement. So you take your witness, your bank. The bank has a record of all the money that went into it, and it has a record of all the money coming out. So you simply get your bank statement, and you grow down through your bank statement starting on January 1 of 2024 up through December 31st of 2024, and you're going to highlight for yourself all of those business expenses that you know you incurred with anticipation of starting your wealth transfer allowance business building business. And on your business building business, part 4, you see it here. Part 4 is where you're going to list your wealth transfer allowance business building startup fees or expenses. That's $495. And then right up under there, you see your wealth transfer allowance estate planning software that you bought, the software that you bought, which is $19.95. But in 19.95 plus the $4.95 is $24.90. Okay, you see line 48. Line 48 is telling you to enter the here and on line 27. So you go back up to line 27 and you look at line 27. Line 27 is giving you what you have put on line 48. You see, so now you've done what the IRS wants you to do, is to show the income. So you'll have no income. I got all zeros there because, see, you didn't start the business until 2025. So January 1st, that's when the business started. Between January 1st and December the 31st is when you start the business. Actually started it, but you incurred business expenses in 2024, and that's the only year that you can take the business expenses that you incurred in 2024. You see, but you still are being totally honest with the IRS and being totally honest with everyone else, because the cost of the product is on your tax and the cost of starting your business. Now, the business is a business. It costs you $495 to start your business. So if you're making over $100,000 and you don't have no people on your tax, no rental property, and no business, then you're losing. You could just invest $495 to start your business and take advantage of it by going to your witness statement, your bank, and getting all the expenses off of your witness statement, your bank statement, and then summing them up and putting them on your Schedule C. If you don't know how to do that, I've left my phone number here, 301-328-4186. Just call me and I'll make arrangements for you to show you how to do what I'm talking about. All right, but you must get up off your hands, because as long as you're sitting on your hands, you cannot eat. I keep using that because it's so true. You got to get off your hands. You got to get up, in other words, and start something. So all you have is your W-2, the house you live in, and maybe one child. That's all you have. If you don't have a child, then you got a home. Regardless of the home, it's going to go in the itemized deduction. But there's a strong possibility that your standard deduction will be more than your itemized deduction. So you may end up taking the standard deduction, and the standard deduction may not be enough to reduce your taxable liability down low enough for you to not suffer from having to pay a whole lot of tax or get no refund. Well, that's all we're talking about are you. And if you don't take advantage of the opportunity, continue to sit on your hand, that's all you're going to have. But if you get up off of your hands, then you will eat. But sitting on your hand, you don't eat. Now, in conclusion, I'm just showing you how many people over a period of, say, 5 or 6 years that could be in your organization simply by sharing the interest, not buying or selling anything. You just simply enroll into WTAenrollmentform.com, and now you're a business. And as a business, you're running a business with other people in the same kind of business. They're wealth transfer, business building advocates, business building advocates, business building advocate. And all you and all the other persons within the United States, business building advocates, can take advantage of the opportunity that Wealth Transfer Alliance and WTA has already afforded you and I to have. It is truly a blessing. I more thank God for letting you spend so much, letting me, that is, spend so much of your valuable time with you. But I believe if you stop sitting on your hands and just take advantage of this opportunity, that the blessing that He has sent you, we're very well thankful for Him for sending it. Thank you and goodbye. I love you. Bye-bye.